My success is, it's called Cameron, the title of the chapter. My success as a wunderkind and the antics that surrounded it caught the attention of the rock press. Utopia was out on tour when I was informed that a journalist would be following us around for a few dates, and I was somewhat amused that he turned out to be a baby-faced teenager named Cameron Crowe on his first major assignment. We were supposed to play a gig in Albuquerque, which was canceled for some reason, so we opted to spend the off time in Santa Fe. Someone had laid a load of mushrooms on us, so pretty much the entire entourage got it, and decided we should go out to the Puye Reservation and watch sunset from the Pueblos, duly witnessed the entire time by our dead sober little brother. I did not stop there, it did not stop there, as many of us opted for a second dose, and after spending the night staring at TV static, decided to drive to Taos, a destination we failed to arrive at since we got distracted by a hot spring on the way. We got back to the hotel just after our second sundown, whereat Kevin Ellman excitedly hustled us into his room so he could demonstrate the powerful reverb created when he chanted his Nam Myoho Renge Kyo at the incomprehensible splutter. The last thing I remember was the sound of Ralph Shuckett playing a piano somewhere in the echoey hallways and ruining the fact that we had run out of mushrooms. That was paragraph 1. I'm not sure what Cameron knew about Utopia when he got the assignment to cover us on the road. We weren't famous for our offstage antics, but I'm pretty sure I had a psychedelic reputation by then, so I guess we must have lived up to that expectation. Actually, I don't recall an episode since wherein the entire band and crew got so... Wait, that did happen again. All I remember is an RV, a farm access road, a bunch of fireworks, and a trip to the local hospital to get a tetanus shot after catching my Achilles on a piece of rusty barbed wire, and no journalist to witness it. Young Cameron Crowe, as everyone knows, went on to become a successful writer and film director. His breakthrough was a movie that had nothing to do with rock bands, but rather represented a simple suburban tableau that a young music journalist never would have experienced, such as he was instead out somewhere in the New Mexico desert watching a bunch of prog rockers tweak their brains out instead of playing, which would turn out to be a different movie. I'm supposed to read for 10 minutes, that was probably 5, so we'll call that another number.
That's
70, all right. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. I hope you haven't memorized any of these.
I have no idea.
Just to get me to read them.
Just the 87.
Okay, 70. This one's entitled Janis. Albert thought I'd amassed enough of a resume to take on a real challenge, so he sent me off to Marin County to oversee album prep for his latest client, Janis Joplin. It wasn't an especially auspicious introduction to the Bay Area from my standpoint, since I was ensconced in a roadside motel in Strawberry, a strip mall community between Sausalito and Mill Valley. Daily I would make my way to Janis' house where a cavalcade of songwriting suitors would pitch tunes to her when they could get her attention. Maybe day 3, and there are players and songsmiths waiting to present to her when I get a phone call from Janis saying she's at the police station and will be a couple hours late. Shortly thereafter, someone accidentally leaves her bedroom door open, revealing Janis still abed with a young partner and nowhere near the cop station. At some point during the process, we get a call from Albert's office announcing that we will be recording a song no one has yet heard or approved, and we will be executing it with the Butterfield Blues Band, and we will do it in a union studio in LA, where I will not be allowed to touch the board, much less tell the smart-ass guild member behind it how things should sound. Nobody has a lot of enthusiasm for this situation, so it's no surprise when, after the union calls their first break, we call the session off. I was still pretty young and inexperienced when I got thrown into Janis Joplin's orbit, however briefly. I hadn't previously worked with someone who really had no interest in the process of making records. The live performance came so naturally that the details of making a record made everything seem tedious. I think Janis may have been happier if I had simply made all the decisions, just let her sing, but she was already a force unto herself. What exactly does a record producer do? Before George Martin, no one ever paid attention to producer credits. That recognition pushed the expectations of a producer into ever more peripatetic realms as shared only by quantum physicists and neurosurgeons. Silk burst to Sal's ear, easy. Capturing that flittering butterfly of musical genius, your guess is as good as anyone's.